What's up, fragrance fans and family? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about a new release from the house Thameen London. Now, if you've never heard of them before, they are the creator of some really fine niche fragrances. If you are a fan of citrus floral fragrances, and in particular the note of neroli, you are going to love today's fragrance. So I've got that and more coming up, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to a spring garden in a bottle. That's really how I describe this fragrance after trying it out. What fragrance am I talking about? It's actually from the house Thameen London, and it is called Fanfare. So before we do anything else, let's briefly check out that presentation. Fanfare by Thameen London comes in a sleeve. On the front it says Fanfare Thameen London, the Britalone collection. On one side you've got Cologne Elixir 100ml and the logo, the Thameen logo. On the other side, the Britalone collection and Fanfare Thameen London with the logo. Nothing doing on the top. On the bottom you've got Thameen London, where the box will open. Once you slide the sleeve off the box, you are faced with the Thameen logo. When you open up the box, the logo creates a pattern at the top in silver, and the bottle fits snugly in a cardboard cutout inside the box. The bottle of Fanfare is a perfect square. It is frosted glass, which is a classic look. The words Fanfare Thameen London are on the front of the bottle in kind of a metallic violet, which provides a nice contrast against the frosted glass, and the juice itself is a nice light yellow color. Inside the box is a tiny fold-out pamphlet with some warning information. On the bottom of the bottle it says Thameen London, which is embossed into the glass, and there is an adhesive sticker with additional information. The lid is silver plastic. The atomizer is a combination of silver plastic and metal, and it's a magnetic, and the magnet is pretty powerful, so you can actually hold the bottle up by the lid. You can tell right away that this is a British house because the presentation has that British sensibility built in. Everything is all about how something looks and how it's presented. The box itself is one of those that you definitely want to save. You don't want to throw it away because it can be stored in the box, and it's part of that overall presentation. It is designed to keep and not to throw away. It's very heavy, very substantial, and well made overall. Presentation is great. The concentration of this is called Cologne Elixir, and it's part of the Britalone collection. We get that, British cologne. Britalone. The concept or idea behind Fanfare, if you've ever been to London, I certainly have it, it's on my bucket list, but there's a thriving city center in the middle of London called Covent Gardens. And the idea of Covent Gardens contains that the entirety of the modern British aesthetic. There's the hustle and bustle of an eclectic group of people mixing in and out among tourists throughout the heart of the city center. There's flower markets, and one of the main themes of Covent Gardens is the gardens. Contained within the flower gardens are, of course, the very aroma or essence of Thameen Fanfare. So that brings us to the notes that create the aroma of the fragrance. What are the notes that are used in Thameen Fanfare? Thameen Fanfare features top notes of bergamot, lemon, neroli, and a flower market accord, with heart notes of rosemary, vermouth or mugwort, and juniper berry, resting on a base of musk, patchouli, and vetiver. So again, I've mentioned if you're a fan of neroli-oriented fragrances, you'll probably really enjoy Fanfare. Now, neroli fragrances range anywhere from the very expensive like Guerlain Neroli Ultra Noir. You've got Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, and then you've got middle-of-the-road neroli fragrances in terms of cost, like Dunhill Icon, Bulgari Wood Neroli, to name a few. And then there are even inexpensive yet very well done fragrances like Ferrari Bright Neroli and even Banana Republic Neroli Woods. So neroli fragrances range from very inexpensive to the very expensive, and the more you go to higher tier neroli fragrances, the more I think well done that they are. And Thameen Fanfare would, for me, be one of those higher tier neroli fragrances. It's a definitively unisex fragrance, but does it err on the side of masculine or on the side of feminine? We're going to find that out. Let's do a smell test. Of course, very high quality atomizer. It sprays a good bit of juice right onto the litmus. Let me just tell you, if you like a combination of floral and green along with your primary neroli note, you are going to love Fanfare. It is a fresh, bright, citrus, flower market, sunshine in your face kind of neroli. There's nothing about this fragrance that's going to sneak up on you. It pretty much gives you everything and all in the open. Really do like the open of this. Now, the issue with neroli is that it does create a fantastic open. There again, if you like the note of neroli. If neroli doesn't do it for you, then you probably won't like this. But to me, a really good, bright, well done neroli note goes straight to the center of my brain and turns on a light. It like opens the curtains inside my cerebral cortex and lets the sun shine in and is all about positivity, sunshine. You know, the best of the spring aesthetic is built into the note of neroli, and it's definitely built into Fanfare. Now, because this is a cologne elixir, you can tell that there's definitely a good concentration of oils, very high quality oils in the fragrance. It opens up with a very pure, citrusy, watery, floral kind of combination. Again, it's like flipping a switch in your head as soon as you smell it. It's so bright. It's kind of a pristine, aquatic, floral juggling in the open. Let's spray it on skin, which is the true tell. I'm going to let this dry down for just a few minutes so that I can tell you about the mid and then of course the base. The open is great, but it typically lasts for about 20 minutes unless it's one of those kind of fragrances where the open is the tell. Is Thameen Fanfare a linear fragrance? Probably not. So I'll let you know in a few minutes. Alright guys, welcome back. It's been about 20 minutes. I let this dry down. It definitely has gotten a bit darker as the structure of the fragrance has evolved, and it's kind of allowed that mugwort, or what's often called vermouth, to come to the front of the fragrance. So it's a bit spicier and it's a bit heavier. Kind of reminds me of the note, the flower market accord. What is a flower market accord? It's like an amalgamation of all kinds of floral notes working together, kind of combined. I do like the magnetized lid. It's really nice, very well done. So to answer the question that I asked earlier for you, is it a linear fragrance? No, it's definitely not linear. I feel like for me, the best part of the fragrance is the open. It's just very misty, watery, musky, floral centric. Heart is great. It's just more of the same. And then you get some of those spicy accords become more dominant and make it a little bit darker, a little bit heavier, and that's where the musk comes into play. The musk, the juniper, the rosemary, the vermouth, or again, mugwort, wormwood, those are all the same thing basically. And that's where the fragrance to me changes the most in the base. It gets a little bit musky, heavy, and kind of cuts your breath off a little bit. Now, it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it takes on this kind of, it encompasses this kind of honeysuckle ideal, or honeysuckle musk, basically. So this is very much a kind of like a floral, honeysuckle, citrus, neroli combination. Trust me when I say it's a really, really appealing, epic bouquet. But I will say, I will warn you that this is, while it being a unisex fragrance, it is just a bit more feminine because it's a little bit heavy when it comes to the floral notes. You've got your floral over here and you've got your neroli and your citrus over here, and they're both vying for attention. And I think at the end of the day, the little bit heavier, a little bit more musky, honeysuckle, floral wins out in the end over the neroli. And while it is a great, wonderful, most often seamless blend, it's just a bit more on the floral side. That might be your thing, and that might be why you love this fragrance, and if so, more power to you. It's fantastic. It is an extremely well done fragrance, and I think it sets a good precedent for Thameen and the new Brittlone collection, because it's kind of a new ideal. It really is representative to me of some of the best aspects of spring, and that's why I call it a spring garden in a bottle, because it has so many of those spring-like affects. But this to me is just a bit more on the feminine side. So that's just a cautionary note. It's by no means turns me off to the fragrance. If you spray this on in the morning, be prepared to smell like it all day long. And you talk about creating a spring garden wake, you know, in scent trail or scent bubble, that is exactly what you're going to get with this. So if that's what you want to smell like, Fanfare is going to be among the best offering that kind of scent trail. Today is April 1st. It's the official launch date of Thameen Fanfare on twistedlily.com. I really enjoy Twisted Lily. They have the best of the niche collection of fragrances, and Thameen Fanfare is part of that collection as of today. So if you do want to purchase this fragrance, I would highly recommend going to twistedlily.com and checking it out. If you do happen to purchase it, you can actually use Studio Sense 10 to get 10% off, not just the fragrance, but your entire order. That's Studio Sense 10. Use that as a coupon code and you'll get 10% off your entire order. If you like anything about the idea of the Covent Gardens in London and the whole idea of the modern British aesthetic, then you'll really enjoy the presentation as well as the fragrance Fanfare. Well guys, that's it for my first impressions of this neroli-centric fragrance by Thameen called Fanfare. I appreciate you stopping by to check it out. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day, and as always, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.